Ready?
Right.
Should go.
Here we go.
Oh!
We've got.
Start.
We got Earth smoking.
Hello guys and welcome to the most exciting episode yet of this Discovery 1 build. Now this is the episode that I promised where we get this thing actually running and with any luck maybe even get this thing out on a test drive. Now we have a number of items to complete before we actually get this thing turning, cranking, etc. And the reason why I couldn't get this thing fired in the last episode was because these fuel connectors had not arrived. Now they have arrived and I'm very excited to put these on because that means that we can actually hear the fuel pump priming, we can get all of that side done and hopefully even get a crank and a first fire. So we've got all these connectors to go on and I've actually ordered a Discovery 2 clutch slave to clutch master hose, and annoyingly I think I messed up there because a Discovery 1 has a different clutch master with a different thread. So we're going to try and graft in a Defender a Defender Master Clutch Master onto Discovery 1. We're going to pull that apart, hopefully we can get those things working. We've also got this idler turned up from our AC because we're removing the aircon from this vehicle. We need to put the idler on so we can get the belt on. We've got a load of stuff here to get on with, and it's all stuff in the name of getting this thing out on the road, getting this thing tested, and hearing this thing fire up. So I'm super excited. Grab a drink. This one's not going to be one to miss. Let's get started. Go on. Okay guys, so it's the next day and I'm really happy. We've got all the fuel lines done, we've got all the standard Land Rover connections, we've got a very OEM fitting fuel filter here. It's totally out the way of the A-frame. That is every bit as perfect as it could be, and we even use those little crimp connectors so it doesn't look like a conversion. Everything's running absolutely perfectly, and we even got the tank back up for good. So hopefully we are minutes away from firing this thing up, but before we do, we've got to do a few little bits on this car, just like the things like the prop donut. Now I don't want to convert this thing to a Defender style pinion seal because I kind of like the fact that this is going to absorb any backlash, I suppose. So it's a little bit weird with the Discovery one because we also noticed a diff pinion seal that needs replacing, and a Defender you can usually sort of give these a little tap, take out the 15mm nut. But on a Discovery 1, it's a little bit more confusing because they've got more like a peg. So we've got to slide hammer that out.
Slide hammer that out.
And then we're used to just doing Defender stuff. But we've got to slide hammer this peg out. So Leon is holding a very big slide hammer. We're just about to do that. Then we can fit up our new prop donut. And then we can move on to something a little bit more tasty.
All right. That was really easy.
You've got a massive slide hammer. Discovery 1s, you never see the diff pinion seals ever get touched because, I don't know, they just get neglected. Not here, not here. Okay guys, so we are getting nearer and nearer to this starting procedure. We've got our new power steering hoses here from Pioneer 4x4, they are custom. And I think this is one of the very few conversion parts we actually have. This converts a Discovery 1 steering box to the TD5 engine. And Leon is still messing around with the clutch slave. It's a clutch master situation. He thinks he's cracked something as a temporary solution, but I think we will need a custom hose that goes from the original D1 master to an R380 slave. It's just longer. Bertie is currently just wiring up some of the harness in mock-up mode. Now, the standalone harness has a number of colours for things like all the lamps on the dash. They actually seem to marry up with some of the colours on the original 300 TDI harness, so we're going to temporarily mock them up and see if that gives us the indication on the dash. It's only, this car isn't very intelligent, it literally either will indicate the bulb or it won't. We're not going to do any damage, and it'll only pop a fuse if it were to do anything. So we are getting this thing to the point where we can just turn the key and start this engine. I don't believe we'll be able to test drive this, only because obviously we've got that clutch slave to clutch master hose that we need to sort, but I feel like we might be able to crank this in the next 5 to 10 minutes and see if this thing actually fires up. Do you want to grab your probe and the jump pack, because we can actually start connecting this all up?
Yeah, but does the ignition not have to be on for that?
Yes, absolutely. We can flick the ignition on and see what happens, really. It should make some buzzing noises. The pump should activate. So guys, we're just finding out what do we need to do to get this thing cranking, and we're actually just wondering if this transfer box gearbox engine is earthed to the chassis. We don't think it is at the present, and obviously it needs an earth so it can complete the circuit. So we're just about to create an earth lead. We're about to earth the fuel pump to the chassis. We're just creating some chassis earths essentially, so that we can actually get this thing turned on. Hopefully we can hit that fuel pump priming. Hopefully we've done all the circuit correct, and hopefully we get a crank signal. Hopefully, there's a lot of hopefullys here. And hopefully this thing will fire into life, but we're running out of time. And this thing is in pure mock-up mode. Anything you see right now is all going to be redone once we know that this installation runs and fires. Once it all fires up, we can then take off all these connections, redo everything, make everything perfect. But we just want to get this thing fired up just to make sure that what we have done is correct. And from there, we can then neaten the installation, but this first fire is super important. Right, fuel pump is earthed, transfer box is earthed. Bring it down. This is it, isn't it?
Shall I do the...
It's a final countdown.
This is every time we do this.
Oh yeah, of course.
You've been here for them all.
Hang on. The mandatory.
What? The fire extinguisher. Great shout. Great shout.
I don't have nightmares about this sort of thing at all.
Pass me 2 M6 bolts, nuts.
I'm just going to try and crank. Oh my. I've got no fuel pump, Liam.
No fuel pump?
I can't hear it, can you? Unless it's extremely quiet. So we're going to crank, but we've got no fuel. Positive, output. One should be earth. None of them are earth, so we're missing an earth. Right. Where was the earth for this loom? Oh! That's connected.
Oh, there you go.
I wonder if that would help. We just came. We snapped. Oh, yeah! It completely. So this is
side out.
This is the BMW conversion, and it completely snapped. How does that happen? What's the other side of it look like?
Absolutely detonated. I don't know. I haven't got that far yet. I just wiggled it and it turbo delete.
Turbo delete.
Oh my. Okay. Anyway, right. I'm gonna go for. Here we go.
Ready? So these are just 2
I've literally
emission
just turned up to check some bits and I've not had much with the wiring.
Don't make excuses now, Leon.
Yeah, there you go. That
I thought the starter motor up there. Was it cranking? I was like, stop! Right, you ready?
Yeah.
Is that the fuel pump that you heard clicking? Was that the relay?
That's the fuel pump.
Right. Hang on.
Just keep quiet a sec, please. Oh,
Is it on?
beautiful sound of a TD5 pump.
Okay, wait. We're going to go for crank.
Yeah, that's got power.
You ready?
Yeah.
Right. Oh, no.
What?
We don't have a proper connector on this line here. Guys, we've worked out the wiring side of things. We've got a positive crank signal. We're now just getting those 2 final hose connections onto the fuel cooler and onto the fuel pressure regulator with these 2 factory push clips again. And then it's go time. But it's going to fire up?
As a push fit.
I think it will fire up, but I don't know for how long it will run for.
I reckon it'll sing.
I know why it might not though.
Why not?
Land Rover.
Shut up.
Say that.
Get
out.
Get out.
No, that's definitely why. It's
40
Land Rover.
lashings behind the shed.
40 lashings. Yeah, just
Leon's from a different time.
Leon's from a different time.
Oh, yes.
You do the crack.
Do the honours.
Right.
Okay, ready?
Right, I'll put it on fuel.
Flux capacitor. Right,
Engines on.
Right, fuel pumps.
Ready? Hang on.
Oh, Christ. Oh, hang on. Well,
I think that's
That's
just,
right,
that's
that's
just,
the
that's just going around the.
that's it, it's just filling up the head. Right, if any of them connections are going to go, it's going to be soon.
Tank priming nicely. The fuel filter will be empty as well, because it's a brand new head. Is there any way that this is going to work? You know the prime? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
What?
Of course it does.
I know you say of course it does, but come on, that's still cool.
That's mental.
That's quite cool.
That's so cool.
To be fair though, it's like.
On one to an effect, the injector seal's happening.
Can you hear it in there?
You can hear a little bit of noise in there,
Or we can get that changed. Right, you ready?
yeah. Right.
Sugar.
Here we go.
We've got.
Start.
We've got earth smoking. Let's go. Let's power.
No way! That sounds good!
Hang on. No way!
I'll take that one then.
That sounds incredibly good. Doesn't sound very loud out the back though.
It's not supposed to be.
What? No, but
Isn't it got a straight through pipe?
No.
This isn't remapped yet, this is totally standard. Well, what can I say? We're geniuses. We've made it. We actually got it to fire up. It sounded really healthy. It sounded very standard actually. We might have to do something about that in another episode, but we got it. It's fully in mock-up mode at the minute. We now need to solidify all those connections, everything you saw. We need to make sure everything's 100%. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and in the next video, it's got to go out on a test drive. It's got to happen. I can't wait to see how this thing's feeling. We've got the gearbox sorted. We've got it all. We just now need to neaten the installation, make this thing 100%, get this thing out on a road test. Please, guys, drop your comments and thoughts down below in the comment section below. I really hope you're enjoying this build as much as we are. Don't forget to subscribe. Give us a follow on TikTok and Instagram at Juice Motors. Stay tuned for this one. It's going to be fun. Next couple of episodes. Bye.